Most of us are familiar with the phrase, "Steve Jobs was a genius." But what many people don't know is that he was also an avid reader. There are 12 books that Jobs claimed were so important. 1. The Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton M. Christensen. Clayton M. Christensen explores the difficulties that companies face when trying to maintain a successful business in the face of disruptive innovation. Christensen uses the example of the disk drive industry to illustrate how incumbent firms are often reluctant to invest in new technologies that may threaten their existing product lines. As a result, these firms are often blindsided by upstarts who are able to take advantage of the latest innovations and capture significant market share. While The Innovator's Dilemma is not without its critics, it remains an essential book for anyone looking to understand the challenges that companies face in times of change. 2. The Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin by Benjamin Franklin. He starts the book by discussing his childhood and early life up until he was 21 years old. He goes into great detail about his apprenticeship with his brother and how he eventually ran away to Philadelphia. He then briefly mentions his time in London before returning to Philadelphia. After that, he talks about his boarding house and how he became a very important person within the city. The book is full of interesting stories and insights into Franklin's life. It is clear that he was a very intelligent and hardworking man. The book is a great read for anyone who wants to learn more about one of the founding fathers of the United States. 3. Crossing the Chasm by Geoffrey A. Moore. If you're interested in learning about the technology adoption cycle, Crossing the Chasm by Geoffrey A. Moore is a book that you should definitely check out. In it, Moore discusses the fact that there is a gap between early adopters and mainstream consumers when it comes to new technologies. He argues that in order to successfully bring a new product or service to market, businesses need to understand how to navigate this divide. The book provides plenty of examples and case studies to illustrate Moore's points, making it an essential read for anyone who wants to gain a better understanding of this topic. For the Lean Startup by Ries. This is a book that has been receiving a lot of buzz lately. Ries is a Silicon Valley entrepreneur who has come up with a new way of thinking about startups. The book is all about how to create a successful startup by using the Lean Startup methodology. This methodology is all about starting small and then iterating and pivoting based on customer feedback. It is a very systematic and data-driven approach to startup success. I have not yet read the book, but it is definitely on my list. I am curious to see what all the buzz is about and whether or not the Lean Startup methodology can really help entrepreneurs achieve success. 5. Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. The book Steve Jobs offers an in-depth look at the life and career of the late Apple co-founder and CEO. Covering Jobs' childhood, his time at Apple, and his eventual ouster from the company, the book provides a wealth of information about one of the most influential figures in the tech world. In addition to offering insights into Jobs' creative process and business acumen, the book also sheds light on his often prickly personality. Overall, Steve Jobs is a comprehensive and engrossing read that will appeal to anyone with an interest in Jobs or the history of Apple. 6. Creativity Incorporated by Ed Catmull. In it, he shares his experiences in building an animation studio from the ground up and offers insights into the creative process. One of the most interesting aspects of the book is Catmull's discussion of the role of failure in creativity. He argues that it's important to embrace failure, because it's through trial and error that we learn and grow. This philosophy has clearly served Pixar well, as the studio has produced some of the most successful and beloved animated films of all time. If you're curious about how one of the most creative companies in the world operates, Creativity Incorporated is definitely worth a read. 7. The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman. This is a book that explores the ways in which design affects our everyday lives. Author Don Norman draws on his experience as a design researcher to explore the ways in which bad design can lead to frustration and anxiety, and how good design can improve our well-being. The book includes case studies of both good and bad design, and offers readers practical advice on how to create products and environments that are user-friendly. Whether you're interested in product design, architecture, or just want to learn more about the role of design in our lives, The Design of Everyday Things is an essential read. 8. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. The book tells the story of Arthur Dent, who is whisked away from Earth just before it is destroyed by aliens. Arthur then goes on a series of adventures with his friend Ford Prefect, as they try to figure out the meaning of life in the universe. The book is full of humor and absurd situations, and it has been praised for its originality and creativity. If you are looking for a book that will make you laugh and think, then The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is definitely worth reading. 9. The Mythical Man Month by Frederick P. Brooks, Jr. The Mythical Man Month is a book that has been widely influential in the software engineering community. In it, Brooks argues that adding more workers to a project that is behind schedule will only make the situation worse, due to the overhead of communication and coordination. The book has been instrumental in shaping the way software projects are managed, and its ideas are still relevant today. If you're interested in learning more about how software development projects are managed, The Mythical Man Month is a book that you should definitely read. 10. The Pragmatic Programmer by Andy Hunt and Dave Thomas. The Pragmatic Programmer is a book by Andy Hunt and Dave Thomas that offers advice for programmers who want to improve their craft. The book is divided into 2 parts. The first covers general principles, while the second contains more specific advice. Some of the topics covered in the book include choosing the right tool for the job, writing code that is easy to read and understand, and avoiding common programming pitfalls. In addition, the book includes a number of exercises that readers can use to hone their skills. Whether you're an experienced programmer or just starting out, the Pragmatic Programmer is sure to offer helpful advice. 11. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind by Shunryu Suzuki. Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind is a book that has been recommended to me by several people. I have been curious about it for a while, but I wasn't sure if it was something I would actually enjoy reading. Recently, I decided to give it a try, and I'm glad I did. The book is both informative and enlightening, providing a detailed look at the history and philosophy of Zen Buddhism. Suzuki's writing style is engaging and easy to follow, making the book a pleasure to read. If you're looking for a book that will give you a greater understanding of Zen Buddhism, I highly recommend Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. 12. The Startup Owner's Manual by Steve Blank and Bob Dorf. The book covers everything from developing your business model to creating a marketing plan. It also includes a step-by-step guide to launching your startup.